So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to factorize quadratic equations. So before we do this, I'll just show you how we could multiply out some brackets, because this is the process we're going to be doing in reverse. So say if you have something like x plus 5 in a bracket and then x minus 4 and you want to multiply them out, what you do is you take the first one here, you take this and multiply by x minus 4, and then you take plus 5 and then you also multiply that by x minus 4. So let's go to the next line there. You'd go write out your x here. From that, take this bracket here and put it down, x minus 4, and then you get plus 5, which goes over here, and then x minus 4. And it's important just to look at this process, because some of the videos later on we're actually going to move directly in reverse from this to this one. So then if we multiply this out, x by x gives us x squared, x by minus 4 gives us minus 4x, plus 5 by x gives you plus 5x, and then we get 5 by minus 4 gives you minus 20. And then if you just tidy all of that up, you get 5 minus 4 x squared, so 5 minus 4x gives you plus x, or sorry, plus x minus 20. Now, what you need to do when you're factorizing this, then you need to do the following. So what we're going to be doing is working from this quadratic equation back to these brackets. So we're going to try and put them back into it. So this is the part that we're actually trying to learn. So for this, what we're going to do is do two brackets and write them out. Then if you just, now this will work just if you have no coefficient, so there's no number in front of the x squared here. You just put an x here and an x here. Now the next step then is to take 20 and you want to break it up into its different factors. So the different factors of 20, we'd have 20 by 1, we have 10 by 2, we have 4 by 5. And we need to figure out which of these could combine to make this one. So if you can see the coefficient before x in this case, and I'll just write it in just for this case, normally it wouldn't be written in, but it's plus 1. So which of these could I combine in any way to make plus 1? So just to note as well, we're making these should multiply to make a minus 20. So a minus by a plus, the signs will need to be different on either of these. So we're either going to get 20 minus 1, or you could get 1 minus 20, or 10 minus 2, or 2 minus 10, or 4 minus 5, or 5 minus 4. So out of these ones, we can see that for this one, 5 minus 4, so plus 5, minus 4 is going to give us plus 1. So they're going to be the two factors we're going to take. So what you do is you take the two of them and you put the minus 4 in here and plus 5 on this side. So you can see that's the same as we had at the start there. You can see, just to bar the fact that they're reversed around. So you can see with this one, plus 5, x plus 5 is the second bracket and x minus 4 is the first bracket here, but it's the same thing. You're just doing them in a different order. So what we'll do is we'll try another question on that there. So this time we're going to go straight into and factorize x squared plus 9x plus 14. So again, what we're going to do is open out our two brackets like so. Because it's an x at the start, we can just put x. So where that's coming from is these two numbers need to multiply to give this one. So you've got x by x is going to give you x squared. Sometimes we'll have a number in front of this and we'll have to put them numbers in as well. So what we're going to do then is look at 14 and just break it down into its different factors. So we've got 14 can be 14 by 1 is always the first one. 2 by 7. And I think that's it then. And we're going to look at the two of these and figure out which one could we add or sum together to make plus 9. So first of all, we're multiplying them together to make plus 14. So that means these would both have to be plus numbers. And then if you see this, 7 plus 2, 14 plus 1 equals 15, which does not equal to 9. But 7 plus 2 is going to equal to 9. So they're my two factors. So you can write that in, plus 2 plus 7. And it's just a case of putting them up into your brackets here. X plus 2 plus 7. And then just for the sake of it, it's always a good idea if you're doing these, I won't do it for the rest of them, But if you're doing these ones, it's a good idea to just multiply it back out just to double check that your answer is correct. So you'd break this into the first one by this bracket and then the second one by this bracket again. So you get x plus 2, and then you take your second one 2. So that's this one here. And then by x plus, and actually, sorry, just made a quick mistake there. That should be 7. So x plus 7 plus 2, and then x plus 7. Just multiply them out quickly. You've got x by x gives you x squared. X by 7 is plus 7x. And then you've got plus 2 by x gives you plus 2x. And then 7 by 2 is going to give you plus 14. Combine the two ones in the middle. We get x squared plus 7 plus 2 gives you 9x plus 14, and you can see where we're back to where we started. So this step here isn't necessary, but it's just I'd always recommend, if you're unsure of your answers or if you can't check them, just to go back and just multiply it out just to make sure you've got the correct answer there. So we'll try another example. X squared plus 20x plus 36. So we're going to again open out our brackets like so. X at the front, and then you're going to take 36 and just break it up into its different factors. So what we're going to look for is ones that are going to sum together, and because it's plus 36, we're going to have two pluses. So we need two things that are going to sum together to give us 20. We don't need to write out all our factors if we didn't want, because we might find one that actually equals 20 straight away. So 36, or then you could have 18 times 2. Now, I'm going to stop at this one because I can see that 18 plus 2 is equal to 20. And so that's going to work for this thing here, because they're going to multiply together to make this number in the center, which is 20. So we're going to just put in plus 18 and then plus 2 here. So for the next one, we've got x squared minus 13x plus 36. So again, open out our brackets. It'll be the same procedure as the last one. Put our x's in the front here. And then you break 36 into its different factors. So 36, and we actually did this last time, so we'll try it again. Different factors, 36 by 1. And we want these to add up to give us 13 minus 13. So actually, just a note on this one here. We've got a... first of all, there's a quick rule you can know for this. If there's a plus on this one, it means that the two of these will definitely have to be minus to equal minus 13. So it means that plus tells us the two signs are the same, first of all. And then because this is a minus, they're both going to be minuses for this particular case. So that's only if you've got a plus. If there's a negative on this, it's a different one. It's a different case. But for this, we've got 36 by 1. We've got 6 by 6. That's still not equal to 13. We've got 9 and 4. Now, we're going to stop at this one because we can see that negative 9 and subtract 4 from that is going to give me negative 13, which is exactly what I need for my answer. So then we can just put in negative 9 and then negative 4 here. So another problem, we've got x squared plus 7x minus 18. So again, open out my brackets. Get an x and an x, so you're going to take 18, then just break it up into its factors. So we've got 18 times 1, which is not equal to, I can't make 7x out of that. And actually, just to note as well here, because this is negative 18, we're going to have to get two signs that are different. So this will have to be, so we're in this case, if we were looking at this one, it would be either 18 minus 1 or 1 minus 18. The signs will have to be different because there's a negative on this side. And we know that a negative and a positive, the signs have to be different to give us a negative. So we'll try some other factors there. So 18 times 1, and then we got 3 times 6. and then we've got 9 times 2, and I'm going to stop at 9 times 2. So how would I make 7 out of 9 times 2? Well, I could have plus 9 minus 2, and that would give us plus 7. So that's the correct one that we want there. So what we do is we just put in them factors. We put in plus 9, and then we put in negative 2 on this side. And again, you could multiply that out to see if you've got it correct or not. So for this one, x squared minus 18x minus 40, write out our brackets first of all. You're going to have x at the top, and then we're going to write out our factors of 40 and which ones. So it'll be negative 40. So again, because it's negative, these will have to have different signs, and then we're going to get ones that are going to make negative 18. So we need them to add or sum up to give us negative 18. So let's try 40 and 1. 2 by 20. I'm actually going to stop on that one because I can see that 20 minus 2 is going to give me 18. So we're going to say, in this case, it's actually minus 18. So we'll say minus 20 plus 2. So if you're on the number line, you're back minus 20 and you add on 2, you're going to get minus 18. So that there are my two correct factors. So we get plus 2 here, and then we get negative 20 on this side. Now this time it's going to be slightly different. If you look at this, we've got a coefficient in front of our x squared, so we need to find a different method for doing this. So what we do is we open out our brackets first of all. Now the second thing we're going to do with this particular, there's a few methods for doing this, but the one I'm going to show you, you're going to take 2 and you're going to multiply it by 3. So you take the 2 of these different ones here. And actually, I'm just going to rub out this part because there's another step we need to take before solving this. So 2 by 3 is going to give you 6. Now the next thing you do is you break 6 up into its different factors. So for this, you're going to get 2 by 3, or you can get 6 by 1. There are two options. Now we need to figure out which of these two factors, after we've multiplied the first and the last figures here. So we're going to have to figure out which one of these is going to give us minus 7x. So if you look at this one here, again, because it's a plus 3, they'll have to be the same signs. So just show that there, because that's a plus 3 there. That means these will have the same signs, and they'll have to be both negative. So if you could see it from this one, negative 6 and negative 1 are going to give you minus 7x. Step 2 then is to come down to your next line. You're going to rewrite your first term like so. And what you're going to do is you're going to break this minus 7x into 2 parts. So we're going to break it up so that it's minus 6x minus x. So that's minus 1x, and then plus 3. So we haven't actually changed our equation at all. You can see that minus 6x minus x is going to give you minus 7x. So we haven't changed anything, the value of it or anything. We've just changed how it looks. The next thing we do is we factorize. First of all, we're going to factorize this side, these figures, and then we're going to factorize the 2 of these. So we're going to take out of the 2 of these in common, out of the numbers, there's going to be a 2. 2 goes into 2, and 2 goes into 6. So that's our common factor out of the 2 of them. So we're going to put in 2 there. And then out of the x's, we're going to have an x in common. So we're going to put 2x. Now we're going to open out a bracket, and we're going to say, what do we need to multiply 2x by to get 2x squared? So we're going to multiply that by x. What do we need to multiply 2 by to get minus 6? We're going to multiply it by minus 3, and then we can leave it at that. And if we just look at that in reverse and just double check our answer, 2x by x gives us 2x squared, perfect. 2x minus 3, so 2 by minus 3 gives minus 6, and that gives us minus 6x. So that's all good. So we need to do now the same for the second line. Now out of the 2 of them, you can see that they don't really have anything in common. So for this particular one, you're just going to take out a 1 as your factor. So what you're going to do is you're going to say minus 1 by x. And then what do we multiply minus 1 by to get plus 3? Well, we multiply it by minus 3. Now there's something important to note in this case. You can see that this bracket and this bracket are the same. So what we can do is we can write them down like this, equals to. So first of all, we're going to take out our 2x and our minus 1 and put them in one bracket. So 2x and then minus 1, and then multiply that by x minus 3. So what we did was we took this bracket, because, and this only works because this bracket repeats itself twice, and we need to put our minus x minus 3 down here, and then we get our 2x minus 1 and put it over here. So for this one, 12x squared minus 11x minus 5. So we see that we've got a coefficient that's bigger than 1 at the front here. So we've got 12. So what we need to do is, again, we're going to take apart our 12 and we're going to multiply it by 5. So just put an arrow there to show you that. So we're taking these two and we're going to multiply them together. So 5 by 12 is going to give us 60. And then we take 60 and we break up all its factors. And we're going to try and find two factors that are going to equal to minus 11. Because we've got a minus 5 and we've got a plus 12 here, it means that this is going to have to be a negative 60. So that means in this case, we're going to have to find something that, we're going to have to find two numbers with different signs that are going to give us minus 11x. So let's just start off with our different factors. We've got 60 and 1. There's no way we can combine them to give us minus 11. Like, so we tried plus 60 minus 1, we get 59, or 1 minus 60, which gives us minus 59. So neither of them will work. So we'll try a couple of other factors. So we've got 6 by 10. Again, that won't work. We've got 5 by 12. Again, that won't work. And then we've got 15. We could divide it by 4. And we get 15. Now, if we look and we stop at this one, we can see there is a way. If you had 15 minus 4, you'd get 11. So if we want to do it the other way around, if you had plus 4 minus 15, that would give us minus 11. So that factor is going to work. Now the next thing we need to do is come up into our equation and we need to change this around. So we're going to leave the 12x squared at the top, 12x squared, and break it into plus 4x minus 15x minus 5. So factorize these two and then these two next. So for this one, you're going to come to your next line and you're going to say, what's common between 12 and 4? So we've got 3 is the highest. Let's see, 4 is the highest common factor actually in the two of them. So we put a 4 in the front of them. And then we also take out an x. So what do we multiply 4x by to get 12x? So first of all, you multiply 4 by 3 and then x by x. So you get 3x. What do we multiply 4x to get plus 4x? Well, you multiply by plus 1. So we get 3x plus 1. The next thing we do then is we take minus 15 and minus 5. We can factorize a 5 out of each of them. So we'll put down minus 5. I can't take an x out of either one. So we put 3x into this. And then plus 1. What do we multiply minus 5 by to get minus 5? We multiply it by just plus 1. Now again, we can see that we're lucky this time it worked out. So we've got this and this are identical. So that's looking good. And we can take 4x minus 5x, put that in one bracket, and then just repeat this bracket. So it's just the reverse what you were doing if you were multiplying them out. So you get 4x minus 5 by 3x plus 1. So if you could see, if you were going to do this in reverse, you'd take the first symbol, put it up here, and you'd multiply it by the second bracket, and then you take the second digit minus 5 and multiply it by the second bracket again here. And another thing just to note, and this is a way that these are often another method of factorizing them. If you put an arrow coming here and then you've put an arrow here, come this way, you want a case where if you multiply 4x by plus 1 and sum it with minus 5x multiplied by 3x, it should give us minus 11x. So we can just test that out there. And this is actually a method, another method you could actually use to factorize this too. So if we just check that 4x by 1 and then minus 5 by 3x. Calculate the two of them, you get 4x, and then you get minus 15x. And if you were to sum them together and you said 4x minus 15x, you get minus 11x. So this would be one way that you could check that your answer is correct, just by checking the outer edges, the outer sides multiplied by the inner, the outer sides multiplied, summed with the inner sides multiplied here. So that's a way of checking it, and it's also a way if you could factorize it as well. So we go back again, we're going to multiply 6 because we have a coefficient at the before the x squared. We're going to multiply this by this. So 9 by 6, and that is going to give us 54. So 9 by 6 is equal to 54. Then we break up 54 into its various factors, and we'll get 54 and 1. And we want to find ones that are going to make 25. Just to also note, because there's a negative here and there's a positive here, that means this is going to be equal to, and I should put it in there, 9 multiplied by negative 6, which gives us negative 54. So we're going to need to have different signs on these two ones. So for this particular case, we'd either have 54 minus 1 or 1 minus 54. So let's try that. That factor won't work. So we'll go 2 by 27. 2 by 27. And we can see actually that does work, because 27 minus 2 plus 27 minus 2 is going to be equal to 25, which is going to work for our situation. So we go up here then and we say 9x squared, leave that as it is, and then we say minus 2x plus 27x minus 6. Now we're going to go and factorize it. So 9 and 9x squared minus 2x. So see, what could we factorize out of the two of them? So we could try, nothing actually factorizes out of them, just an x. So we put an x at the front here, and x by 9x is going to give us 9x squared, and then x by minus 2 is going to give us minus 2x. Now let's look at the next two. So we've got 27 and we've got minus 6. So the thing we could divide into the two of them would be plus 3. And then 3 by 9 is going to, so we're going to have 3 by 9x, because there's no x in common. We couldn't factorize out an x. So we're going to get 3 by 9x and then minus 2. Now, luckily, we can see that we've got the same brackets. So finish it off, we've got x plus 3 and then 9x minus 2, and that's them both factorized. So that's my video on factorizing, and thank you very much for watching.